Hello friends, you're the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm playing Dungeonquest. And it's the 3rd edition, and the second video, and I guess it's also the last video. It's usually not a very long game. I'm already surprised that we both survived that long. And we had a pretty interesting first half. Tatiana entered the catacombs pretty early in the game, and she managed to find this gigantic diamond worth 4,000 gold, which is an immense amount of money in this game. So Lindell, our other player here, he had to move into the dragon chamber, and he had to risk something. He had to stay there, search a while for gold, for valuable items, and after some looting, he was also pretty lucky. He found, for example, a bag of gems, and especially that combination here, the Staff of Light in combination with the Sun Spear. These both together are worth 5,000 bucks. So that makes him now clearly the richer person, and if he manages to escape, he's gonna win under these circumstances. But for now, we're both inside the dungeon, and if you've seen a playthrough of that game, as long as you haven't entered this final tower here, you won't be safe. You can always die. Time is still okay for both of us. We're pretty much here in the middle, so it should be all right. And we continue now with Lindell's turn. So he leaves the dungeon, and he has found here an entrance into the catacombs, and he's gonna use that entrance. The way he came through wasn't too great. We have here a spider web, a trap, a door, and finally here a rotating room, which will be a dead end then. So that sucks pretty much. So we enter here, and we draw simply a dungeon card, and that one is empty. And yeah, as I've mentioned, Tatiana is basically underground, more or less since the beginning of the game. So she also draws now a card, and she has found an exit. That's interesting. So let's see where she is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that would be here. Now the question is, I think she doesn't want to try to get into the dungeon chamber. I'm pretty sure she cannot. It's not impossible for her to make it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, let's say we have about 12 maybe. And let's say we'll come out somewhere here. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, that's close. That's a close call. That's pretty much a risk. And even then, it's kind of unlikely that we find something valuable enough to beat him. He has something like, I don't know, he must be, these alone are worth 5,000. This is 6,200, 6,500, 800. 7,000. Holy shit. Okay, he's got about, I don't know, something like 8,500. Well, we won't get that. I mean, that's pretty sure. Even we have to remain for quite a while in the Dragon Chamber to get that much money. I'm pretty sure about that. Or we got to be incredibly lucky. So I think I'm going to try to simply get out of here and hope that my rival dies. So now, as I've said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to roll a die and find out where I'm shift, and I'm going to shift in this direction, so I'm going to end up here, because I definitely will roll a 1. So actually I don't have to roll here. And that is a rotating room. Okay. So there we are. I'm going to remove this marker here and ended up over here. And then in the next turn, I'm not going to do anything with her, because it's this kind of, she comes back and then she has to encounter that room and there's nothing happening, so I'm simply going to wait a one turn there. Okay, now what happens is Lyndall goes underground, moves down here. I think that makes the most sense. I mean, he could also move in this direction. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's kind of interesting. On the other hand, if he comes out here, he could shift in this direction, and then he knows that he will be safe here. So I think I'm going to move down. And yeah, I'm going to start. By the way, these all go back now. And this time I'm not going to shuffle them in, because there is this shuffle card in the deck. And I guess that's going to be the one that forces me then to do it. Okay, that is a Naga. The passage is blocked by a giant Naga, and you must turn around. Determine where you would exit the catacombs, then place your direction of travel marker in that space and rotate it 180 degrees so that it faces the opposite direction. Discard the Naga and all of your catacombs cards except loot. On your next turn, draw catacomb cards as normal. Okay, that kind of sucks. So we got to determine where we show up, and that means we got to roll a die, and we can determine where we shift now. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. I think I want to go now in hard to tell. Yeah, I think I want to go in this direction here. Okay, so actually I will end up now here at the wall. That means, and then I have to turn around 180 degrees, so that's a little chaotic. So that means I gotta shift around and move back now. But I still have enough time if nothing too bad happens. Okay, then it's again him, because she has to encounter now that room and nothing happens there. So he draws now another card, and it's empty. And now she is obviously gonna move here. And that is a bridge. I think that shouldn't be too bad. Let's see what we get. Not absolutely sure. I think we have to draw a card. Let's see, where is it? There we are. Come on. No. If you attempt to cross-test agility, but add 1 to your dice roll for each loot card you have. Okay, we have exactly 1. And so we gotta add 1 to the roll. We have agility of 9, so it looks pretty good. And if we make it, we can continue right away. And yeah, easily. So we can draw the next card or the next tile right away. And now that sucks. That's something that should not have happened. This is pretty bad. It's a dead end. Shit. Yeah, well, okay. So, oh, damn it. Wow, man, we were lucky. It's secret door. You may immediately move to any adjacent space. If the space is unexplored, place a dungeon chamber as normal. If you encounter a monster, you cannot escape. Wow. That was the perfect card in the perfect moment here. So we're gonna draw a card, and of course we're gonna go here. And that's a trap. But even that isn't such a big deal because we still have our Rune of Warning. So I'm pretty sure we can actually survive that. Gonna draw a trap card here. Poisonous gas. Okay, I'm gonna use my... I mean, there is no way I can die because now I'm gonna play my Rune of Warning. Discard after you draw a trap. Discard the trap without resolving its effect. Okay, there it goes. And that's it for her. I mean, in the next turn she can make it there, and there is nothing that can hinder her. So now time goes on, and now it's the question, can Lyndall make it? And he is a little bit in trouble because if he now moves that way back, he will shift again a little bit to the left. So then he also has to move back here. So we'll see. Let's see where he ends up. That's a treasure chest. If you exit Dragonfire Dungeon, you may roll 2 dice at the end of the game. The chest has a gold value equal to the result multiplied by 100. That's an awesome card, but that's not his main problem at the moment. So he continues moving and draws the next dungeon card. Oh, actually I forgot to move with her, but she now made it out. And therefore, yeah, she is happy. A hidden trap. Well, that sucks. Draw a trap card. And these are poisonous snakes again. Roll 1 die to determine how many wounds the poisonous snakes inflict. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that sucked. 6 wounds. This is getting critical now. So he is at 12 wounds now. He can only take 2 more wounds and he's dead. And time is also running out for him. I'm gonna move this thing a little bit. Okay, so let's see. And he found an exit. Okay, and I guess he's gonna use that exit. So he was pretty unlucky with this Naga because now he will probably end up somewhere here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, maybe 7. I mean, I think he might still be able to do it, but it's going to be very close. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, he's gonna keep the treasure chest. Okay, so he's here now. Excuse me. And he's gonna roll a die. That's a 5. That sucks because that brings him pretty far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's gonna go now probably in the other direction for this exit here. Yeah, that was a pretty bad idea and a terrible waste of time. So I think I want to move this way here. Yeah, I mean, it was that Naga which really was very, very unlucky. So he entered here, moved down here, shifted here, and ended up here again. Wow, what bad luck. Okay. So now this goes on, and now he has to encounter the room. So he cannot move on anymore. And it's a crossfire trap. Holy shit, that's not looking good. Arrows fire from the walls at you. Test armor. If you fail, suffer a number of wounds equal to the amount you failed by. Okay. So his armor is 6, the blue one here. So that might actually kill him, and yeah, then the game would be over. So as I said, he can only take 2 more wounds. So if we roll a 9 or higher, the game is over. And we made it, no problems here. Very good. So let's continue. Of course, we're going to move here. And it seems like we might some help now. Maybe a corridor or some tiles that allow you to take some kind of double turn. But that is not happening. We have the famous bottomless pit here. And that obviously sucks terrible. Okay, so we got to test luck here. And we only have a luck value of 5. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing now, right? If we make it, we're good. If not, we'll fall into the pit and slowly starve to death while falling, I don't know, through the center of the earth or whatever. Okay, yeah, so it's a 5, and obviously the situation is very bad. And yeah, that's it. It's a 9. So we've fallen down the pit. And that's the end then. And yeah, Tatiana made it with her gigantic diamond. She was lucky. In the catacombs, she found a diamond. And in the end, we've seen again, very often not the richest player wins, but the one who survives. And again, that happened here. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, it would have been very hard for him to make it out of the dungeon simply because the time was rapidly running out for him. And therefore, yeah. Okay. But again, I must say, I enjoyed this game a lot. And it's just one of my absolute favorite games. And yeah, it's quick. It has a very strong narrative, and I especially love this exploring element which you have here, and that is something that you don't have in many dungeon crawls. In most other dungeon crawls that I know, you have a already preset scenario, pretty strong scripted often, or for example in Castle Ravenloft you also do the exploration, but it's not like this where you can end up in some kind of some kind of dead ends, or it doesn't really matter what tile you draw in the end. It's not that important. It's more kind of a visual thing. But here, because you want to go into a certain direction, you want to draw the right tiles to get there. And then you have these really dirty traps, which can kill you instantly, like this thing. And yeah, I mean, this is awesome. This is just fantastic. I wish there would be some game which would combine this kind of exploration factor, this really dungeon crawl feeling, with a little more interesting, I don't know, some more interesting items to find, and maybe some more interesting monsters to fight or something. But I didn't find that until now, and yeah, it's not looking like we're getting in the direction in the gaming industry. It gets more and more into these preset scenarios. At least that's my impression. And yeah, I think that's kind of a shame. But on the other hand, I mean, this is an extremely luck-based game, of course. And as a designer with a predetermined setup of the room tiles and so on, of course you have the option to balance the game easier and to you have more influence on the outcome of a game and on the way it develops. And for many designers, this is obviously very important. Yeah, anyway, I love it. Fantastic game. If you're looking for that and you don't want to get the first edition, which is, especially with the expansions, terribly expensive, then I recommend try to get the third edition, but the revised version, because that one is definitely better. It cleans up some mechanics, and yeah, I definitely would recommend then the revised edition, although this is also hard to get by now, because from what I understand, because the collaboration of Fantasy Flight Games and Games Workshop stopped, this is no longer printed, and therefore it might be hard to get the revised edition. Apart from that, I think the only real difference between the two editions, if you take the old combat system like I did, there are not many differences at all. One interesting point is that if you have the expansions of the old edition, you have 13 different heroes. Some of them play extremely different and are really interesting, and that is something I'm missing a little bit here. You have only 6 heroes here, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, they are not that different than some of the others in the other expansion. But okay, here you have maybe a more interesting artwork. It's hard to tell. Anyway, hope you liked it, and hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.